Hi guys, it is an absolutely spectacularly over the top gorgeous day here in the end times in paradise. Paradise here on this gorgeous Saturday morning, August 26, 2017, here on the slopes of the Mount Baker volcano. Good people making bad mistakes and regret and personal responsibility, and try to draw connections between this and why we are so fucked as a species and as a planet as we dig deeper into whatever you want to call it, the world's first bioticide, the sociopocene, as Derek Jensen calls it, or the moronocene. I think I'm going to start calling this age the moronocene. Making mistakes and taking responsibility for our mistakes and blah, 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 and how this denial, this refusal to take responsibility for our mistakes from a personal level all the way to a species-wide level has brought us literally into the last days of at least the human race and quite possibly the planet. And it's weird. I was racking my brain last night trying to drift off to sleep, doing a personal survey in my own life about, what is the biggest fuck up I have ever made in my life? What is the biggest mistake I have ever made? And what did I do about it? How did I respond to it? Did I learn from it? And I got to admit, guys, I really had and have a hard time thinking what is the biggest mistake I ever made in my life? What is the biggest regret? And I'm somewhat proud to say, being a clueless fucking moron, that I don't have that many regrets for someone getting ready to turn 58 years old after leading the life I have led. It's unbelievable how few regrets that I have. As I say, I'm both proud and embarrassed to admit, because I fully understand that I should be completely embarrassed and guilty about my entire life. And so this is the problem. So, of course, when I started thinking, I just do, as this is the automatic default. When I started thinking about what is the biggest mistake I ever made, I started looking at my own teeny weeny little personal life. Looking at mistakes I have made mostly with women, bosses, real estate deals, regrets on missed opportunities to make piles of money that were just there in front of me. All I had to do was go pick up this plate of money, and I botched it. There's the whole thing of mistakes that I have made that resulted in me getting fucked over by somebody else. Such as the 33 times I was robbed in the 3 years I lived in Costa Rica. But there you go. It's so easy to blame the victim. Yeah, there are things that I could have done differently, such as never gone to Costa Rica, never had the experience of spending 3 years in Costa Rica, and I never would have been robbed 33 times. So yes, I could have hidden in fear here, and never had the adventure. But once again, that comes to blaming the victim. So I made the mistake of naively trusting the rest of humanity not to fuck me. So if that was a mistake, then then I'm guilty as charged. But I'm not the one who made the mistake. It was the fucking people who robbed me 33 times who made the mistake. So I take that out of the equation, and I really am, as I say, both proud and embarrassed to admit that my mistakes I have made and my regrets don't keep me up at night. Guys, we've all made mistakes. We are human. To err is human. To forgive, divine, especially to forgive ourselves, which should be the hardest thing to do, but of course it's the easiest thing to do. And it's just to accept some fucking responsibility for your actions. If you've done something stupid and you have been caught just bold-faced making an absolutely horrendous, totally preventable, stupid mistake, you should just, and I will mainly, I was going to say man up, but I guess just say person up. Just fucking own it. Take some fucking responsibility. If you are burned, making a mistake, take some fucking responsibility, admit it was a fucking mistake, and apologize to anybody who was hurt by your stupid, completely avoidable, preventable mistake. That's all you can do. Why is it so fucking hard? When you're caught in the middle of just doing something absolutely unforgivably stupid that you're 100% guilty about, why is it so fucking hard? And it's just as hard for me as anybody else. This is every goddamn one of us has made some mistakes. It's part of being human. And it's part of our spiritual journey. And hopefully we're supposed to learn something from them. And one thing we should learn from them is how to take some fucking responsibility, be a man, have some fucking balls, have a fucking spine, or if you're a woman, have some fucking ovaries and have a spine, and own it and say, I fucked up, I am sorry, I'm going to learn from this. And hopefully you will learn from this. But we don't learn from it. What we do, as we've seen recently, that the person making the mistake, what do the immediate default position is to blame the person who was harmed by our fucking mistake. That's the first thing that we do. It's just an automatic human default. The first thing is it's the who we harmed. It's their fault, not my fault. I didn't make a mistake. It was the person I harmed is who, and other people caught up in the drama surrounding my mistake. It's their fucking fault. Have some fucking balls. Have some fucking spine. But I'm as guilty as anyone to forgive people making a stupid fucking mistake if they would fucking own it. It's a hell of a lot easier to forgive someone apologizing for their stupidity than for someone just absolutely taking no responsibility. And I'm probably as guilty uh, as anybody else. We all are. But you know, but of course, and this even took me a while I'm lying in bed last night, trying to go to sleep, having all of these thoughts. What have I learned from the mistakes of others? And of course, what it is we need to peel this layer back, peel the onion back a couple of layers, and you will find that your teeny weeny little personal mistakes is not what we need to be talking about. We need to be talking about, as Derek Jensen, in his latest book, The Myth of Human Supremacy, this is the big fucking mistake that every one of us have made. Every one of us have made that we need to regret and have some take some goddamn responsibility for, and own it. I guess I just conveniently forgot in my own little personal survey of mistakes I have made that I have not owned, and the regrets that I have, and what, if anything, I've learned from them. And it took about 30 minutes. Oh yeah, don't forget that $22,000 credit card at Home Depot. Don't forget your fucking 20 years of flipping foreclosures, taking advantage of other people's catastrophes in their life, taking advantage of other people's downfall so you can make a few fucking dollars, Hambone. How about that? Was that a mistake? How about the probably, I don't know how many millions of miles that I have driven in gas-sucking vehicles. I fully understand that this gas-sucking truck that I am so addicted to is every time I turn the fucking key on the thing, I am making a mistake. I own it. But do you think I own it enough to stop driving the goddamn gas-sucking truck? People who have been around might remember that I tried to give up the gas-sucking truck, and I made it for 6.5 years. And then at the end of 6.5 years of regretting giving up my gas-sucking truck and whining about not having but my gas-sucking truck, at the end of 6.5 years of that self-imposed exile, I looked around and did a little bit of research and found that in those 6.5 years, that about 300 million cars, new vehicles, were sold on this planet, as the number of vehicles on this planet went from 1 billion to 2 billion. And I understood it makes no fucking difference whether I own it or not. That I'm a guilty planet-eating motherfucker every time I turn the key on that thing. I understood it makes absolutely no fucking difference. Same with eating meat. I understand every time that I put one of my fellow Earthlings into my mouth that I am making a mistake. But do you think that stops me from eating my fellow Earthlings? We're fucked, people. You know, we have this tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of people on this planet taking the tiniest bit of personal responsibility. After, you know, first you have to pull your head out of your ass, and that takes care of over 99% of the people who, in their wildest imaginations, going on through life, having zero, I mean, they're having regrets about the mistakes they've made with the opposite sex and jobs and money, and not spending 1 second of their entire lives thinking about the mistakes they're making and the regret they should be having. And so then you have the few of us who are not clueless fucking morons, and we go right ahead doing it while we're preaching against the very things we're doing. We're fucking hopeless. You know? And one reason is because we use the damn perfectly reasonable rationalization. We understand it doesn't make a fucking goddamn bit of difference what any one of us do. At this point, we are all victims. Yeah, right. This little victim mentality, but I'm copping it. We are all born into this culture, this ecocidal culture, this machine, this system, and there's not a goddamn thing that any of us are going to do to take any goddamn responsibility. And even if we do on our teeny weeny little personal level, it doesn't make any difference. The system, the machine, the culture has to come down until this shit comes down, as Derek Jensen repeats about 300 million times in the myth of human supremacy. Until this shit thing comes down, this planet is not going to stop being killed. There are 7.5 billion of us, heading to 10 billion, taking no responsibility on any level, on a personal level, on a cultural level, on a species-wide level. You know, when some of the leading spokesmen, you know, talking about the collapse of a planet, refusing to take any personal responsibility for just some teeny weeny personal drama, it just makes me completely fucking hopeless. Nobody is owning up to it, and we're fucked. And we deserve every goddamn thing we have coming to us. So yes, we can call it the sociopathy, and blame it all on those. It's those blue meanie planet eaters. It's not me. It's those guys. If we could just make the blue meanies go poof, that we would be living in harmony and balance with this planet. If we could just make those sociopaths go poof. Well, guys, as I say, we are definitely in the sociopacene. I agree with Derek Jensen, but I would take it one step farther. We're in the fucking moronocene. That blaming this mess on those blue meanies, and refusing to take any personal responsibility. And then when you do take some personal responsibility, not doing a goddamn thing about it to change your own behavior, because you realize changing your own behavior won't accomplish the goddamn thing, that we're fucked. So there you go. This is what I have learned from my own review from events of this past week. This is what my personal review of my own moronic, guilty, mistake-riddled life of 58 years of doing my part to take down this planet, I have learned we are so fucked. And with that, I'm going to wrap up this little, whatever this rant was, in the moronocene. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, guys. Bye, guys.